We left Luderitz and we passed through Coleman's Kop, that is that deserted village. From there we made our way southeast down to Hobart. So starts episode 9. At the Richfield National Park, we came across the Noord Dam, which we visited. It's located just outside of Keetmanshoop and holds up to 69 million cubic meters of water. They say it is also a bird sanctuary in the nature reserve, and there's some really nice swimming areas that you can enjoy. At the dam we rested up for half an hour or so and had something to drink, and then we're going to head out and we're going to go to hot springs at Ace. This should be interesting. We need a day of relaxation.
This has got to be the rockiest place.
You can see all the roads are dirt roads, but they're very, very smooth. And I don't think there's a lot of rain here, so we don't have ruts or nothing gets washed away. We've reached this fjord that crosses the Fish River, and we're crossing over. It's not very deep, about a half a foot. I actually walked across. Once Reggie had crossed the fjord, we saw this grader coming along pulling a house trailer. I guess this is how they do the roads. That's part of the road crew that grades the roads. Ace is situated right next to the Fish River down into the canyon, and we're approaching the gates now. It's going to be interesting to see what they have here. I've heard nice things about the place. Hot springs, that's good enough for me. The ladies are looking for some lunch and some water bottles, and we're going to take a little bit of a walk up the river on a little path and see what it's like and enjoy the area a little bit before we have to leave. This was a great place. We had a swim in the hot pools. We had lunch. We just basically lazed around and relaxed until it was time to go home. We took a little bit of a nature walk. There was a lot to see as far as flora goes, but not much fauna. We did come across a whole lot of baboons on the hill, but they didn't bother us, so we didn't bother them.
Did you enjoy your swim?
We had a good swim, Baz, thanks.
And Sue?
Yeah, lovely, thank you.
This is a true oasis in the desert, isn't it?
Ace lies in the southern end of the Fish River Canyon area, situated in the Namibian Transfrontier Park. Ace means burning water and refers to the sulfurous hot springs found in this area. They told us when we were there the water in the hot springs bear natural ingredients and is especially therapeutic for people suffering from rheumatism. Ace Resort is basically a very fancy spa, and I think if you have any problems with rheumatism, it's a good place to visit. So now we're on our way back to Hobart before it gets too dark, and we'll enjoy a fire tonight. 2 wonderful days spent in Hobart, relaxing and enjoying the scenery and the hot springs, and now it's time to leave Namibia. We packed up and we headed for the border. And we want to refuel before we go into South Africa because the gas prices here are much cheaper. Check all the tire pressures, make everything's good. In Africa, you don't fill in your own fuel. There are service attendants at every garage, which are very helpful guys. And they hold a lot of information if you need to know anything. They call this truck coaster because it has 200 liters of fuel in it, and it can go from one side of Africa to the other without refueling. We've reached the border with South Africa, and we're all a little bit pensive. Crossing borders is always a little bit stressful, but we haven't had any problems, so why do we worry? It's going to be great to get back to South Africa because you always feel safer in your own country. We are now crossing over the famous Orange River. Reggie says that this river is called the Defmalan River, but according to the map that I looked at, it says it's the Orange River. If you know what it is really called, leave it in the comments below, then I'll know. The river is the dividing line between Namibia and South Africa. It's very far to Cape Town, so we're going to make 2 stops. The first stop is in Springbok, and we've just arrived.
Caravan park.
You have reached your destination caravan site, Springbok
We
Caravan.
left Hobart in Namibia. We came across the border into South Africa, and we're in Springbok. And we have a campsite that we pre-booked, obviously, and we've moved in and set up camp. What do you guys think about Namibia?
Stunningly beautiful. Awesome view.
There's a hell of a lot of beauty in it. Now we can relax, take it easy, and enjoy what a lot of people would love to do, is to tour the coastal area from the top of South Africa, right down the west coast, and then right along the south coast until we get back to Durban.
Sue, what do you got under there? Let's have a look.
I got some drumsticks. They'll be marinating.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So we spent a good night in Springbok. We managed to get the truck all cleaned up and sparkling so that we don't look like a bunch of hillbillies going through Cape Town. And now we're on our way to Langebaan, and that is 473 kilometers away. And we're going to stay for 3 days at Club Mykonos, which is on the west coast, right on the ocean. The Western Cape is the home of the vast majority of South African wine industry, and the country's 2 most famous wine regions are Stellenbosch and Paarl. In Paarl, they're going to teach us how to make a whiskey barrel out of wood. I would prefer they give us a full whiskey barrel and ask us to take it apart. Sue told me that that's never going to happen. This is one of the many Cederberg wine estates, wine famous all over the world. They have a real long history in South Africa. The city of Cape Town serves as an epicenter for the Cape winelands. Our stay in Mykonos was really a family vacation, which was great.
Club Mykonos resort, which was really nice resort. It was really fantastic. I think the ladies really appreciated 3 days of luxury living. We can ask them.
Great. We did, however, find that the Atlantic much colder on this side of the ocean than on the Cuban side.
Nella, what did you think?
It was lovely to relax and rest, and it was a nice environment.
I know.
Pretty.
And the people were nice too.
They were very nice.
Yeah. We've left there after 3 days, and now we're making our way down to Cape Town. We have about 400 kilometers to go. And it's a beautiful highway all the way, so we're waiting to enjoy Cape Town. Last time I visited Cape Town was, wow, 41 years ago on my honeymoon.
Point to the sign there, Kuberg. Kuberg is our truck station. Our nuclear power station, which at the moment is not generating power. It's just on standby at the moment.
In southern Africa, especially from Zambia down to South Africa, the railways moves a lot of goods, and as can be seen by this train, it's got over 100 coaches pulling supplies and goods going to Cape Town or coming from Cape Town from the ports. And there is a diesel engine in front, diesel in the middle, and a diesel in the back pushing. Amazing.
That ahead of us is Table Mountain, covered in clouds, so yep, that's the white tablecloth for sure.
It's going to be at the Royal Atlantic Hotel for 4 days, Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. And then we go further inland to go see the stars in Sutherland.
As soon as we settled into the Royal Atlantic Hotel, we did what every other tourist to Cape Town does. We headed for Table Mountain. And this is us. We're going to board the cable cars. And you can actually walk up if you want to, but it's quite a climb, and I wouldn't advise it.
So, are you excited?
Yes, very excited.
Well, I'm really excited to get to the top, and there we go.
There's a big opening. Don't drop your camera out. Oh, that's so cool. The people are walking up here. They'll be down here.
Wow, this is very fast.
Yeah, there's people sitting over there on that rock, see?
Oh, Betty!
There comes the other cable car.
This cable car travels at 10 meters a second, and it has a revolving floor, so if you're standing inside, it rotates, and that's why you see the window frames every now and again. So everybody gets a panoramic view of the area as the cable car is going up. Really a clever idea. When I was last year in 2018 March, that building in front of us was actually a tea room and a curio shop. The tea room is now a curio shop 41 years later. Susan and I sat in this corner and we had a cup of tea and a couple of scones 41 years ago on our anniversary. Can you believe it?
It's well done with these rocks and stones, eh, Rich?
While we were up here, this guy with a flying wing came around and he stayed up for quite a while. They actually launched from a little hill on the bottom near the coastline, and then they worked their way up here with the updrafts. What a great experience for them.
Et donc là j'ai ramé, tu vois.
You can step as long as
J'ai ramé pour récupérer le coup. Puis à la fin,
which is all day, yeah.
c'est bon. Mais je pense que si j'avais pas.
At the end of those mountains is the Cape of Good Hope, which is the Cape Horn. The misconception that it is the most southern part of South Africa, which it isn't. The most southernmost point of Africa is Cape Agulhas, and that's about 150 kilometers to the east-southeast of where we are at the moment. There are well-maintained paths that you can walk along and explore the fauna and flora, which is surprising. Up here you'd think there'd be no fauna, but there is. Flora is beautiful. 250 species of daisies and silver trees. And animal life includes taurs, which are Himalayan goats. Apparently they are descendants from a local zoo, and they escaped many years ago. The cable car was built in 1929, and there are 350 paths and climbing routes to get to the top of this mountain. And the highest point is Maclear's Beacon, and it stands at 3,563 feet. That's pretty high. Well, we spent quite a lot of time up there. There's a lot of paths and sceneries to explore, and we walked around and really enjoyed ourselves. It was wonderful up there. Fresh, clean air, and it was a beautiful day. So now it is time for us to head back, and we're deciding to go for lunch, and then we're going to go to the Cape Point if we can find it.
That's the Cape waterfront down there, part of the harbour. And if you look down there, there's Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in jail. And if you look down there, you'll see that round donut thing. That's a stadium especially built for the World Cup a couple of years back. Yep, 2005.
Well, here we come down. Can't wait to meet us. And then we're heading out to the Cape Point.
That's what happened with those person playing the drums. I missed it all. We're going down to Simonstown, Cape Point. We've just come through Chapman's Peak. This road is commonly used for bicycle racing. Very windy, very narrow. Protection from falling rocks.
This is like going...
The whole road is undercut there.
Yeah, this is like going to Monaco.
Reg is right. It does remind us of Morocco, where they did the Formula 1 racing through the town.
This is actually a half tunnel.
Speed limit 40.
That looks like solid rock, Harry.
Taylor's place.
Maybe they carnated it. This is False Bay, actually. Just from down from Simonstown. It smells a little bit though, with all those penguins. That is Deer's Cross. Yeah, the Portuguese put it there for navigational aid. Or it might have been the Italians. I think it was the Italians. I'll clarify that. Yeah, there it is. Diaz 1488. That's a long time ago. And yeah, so it was the Portuguese. Thanks, Nella.
You're welcome.
That cross apparently lines up with another cross down by the beach, and when you put them in line, it points to an island for navigation.
The Cape of Good Hope is one of the most popular tourist fascinations in Cape Town. It is here that the Indian and the Atlantic Oceans meet. So that's all we've got for episode 9. If you liked this video, please click like and subscribe, and you'll be notified when the next episode comes out. Until then, have a nice day, and we will see you later.